So today I've got a buyer coming to pick up my 2013 Audi Q5, and I wanted to make a quick video doing an overview on the car and give you my recommendation on whether or not I would buy another Audi Q5. For starters, let's take a quick walk around of the vehicle. This is the first generation model of the Q5, which came out in 2008. They did a minor refresh to the vehicle in 2013, and you'll see that primarily on the front end where we've got a revised headlight, grille design, and then on the rear of the vehicle with an updated tail light. They also did some engine upgrades, and then inside of the vehicle there's also some minor updates. The Audi Q5 is available in a few different engine options. They've got a basic 2-liter turbo. This vehicle has the 3-liter supercharged V6, which is a detuned version of the Audi S4 engine. They've got a TDI diesel. They have a hybrid, and then they've also got the SQ5 model, which has the same engine as the S4. This specific vehicle has a sport package, which includes upgraded 20-inch wheels, some other minor updates on the exterior of the vehicle that give it a little bit more sporty profile. It's got the S-line badging on the side of the doors, and then also show you a few other updates inside. In addition to all of that, it's got the Drive Select feature, which allows you to change driving modes on the car. It's got a dynamic mode, a comfort mode, an individual mode, and an auto mode. And what that does is it adjusts the feel of the steering wheel, makes it lighter or stiffer. Suspension can also be adjusted lighter, stiffer, and the throttle response changes with the transmission shifts. So it can shift more aggressively or lighter to maximize fuel economy. The Q5 really is a great looking vehicle. I think it's one of the best looking SUVs of all time. It's got a very sleek profile to it, very attractive, with a lot of nice premium details. Been very selective in chrome accents on the car, just the right amount where it's not too shiny, but it's just got a nice premium appearance to it. See the chrome wraparound on the windows. Got the side rails in chrome as well. And then the badging on the rear of the vehicle. You see that it's got dual exhaust. Nice attractive profile to those tailpipes. You also notice we've got parking sensors on the back of the car. Those will beep to notify you if there are objects that you're close to hitting. And then up top we've got a panoramic sunroof. All in all, a really great looking vehicle that, in my opinion, again, is one of the best looking SUVs of all time. Now that we've walked around the exterior, we'll take a quick look inside as well, where the Audi continues to impress. And I really love interiors on Audis. I feel like they are definitely the benchmark leader in terms of interior design. They're very attractive. They've got really high quality materials, very functional, intuitive to use, great ergonomics, and it's just a very comfortable vehicle as well. You'll notice that this model's got the flat bottom steering wheel, and it's got perforated leather wrap, tri-spoke. So this is part of that sport package. It's actually a very similar steering wheel to what you would get in a Lamborghini, as Audi and Lamborghini are actually owned by Volkswagen. So they do share some components, even beyond the steering wheel. And then I mentioned that Drive Select feature, which is located right here. You can adjust that with the push of a button. You also notice that the headliner of the vehicle is black. Most Q5s are going to be a two-tone color combination, but with that sport package, it's a consistent color throughout. I like the fact that it's all black because it stays cleaner looking. In addition to all that, it's got sport style seats. It's got a little bit more side support to really keep you snug when you're going around corners. And it's got this little guy that adjusts here to give you some different positions with your legs. As far as features on the Q5, we've got power windows, door locks, power mirrors, heated mirrors, full power seats with memory settings for up to 2 drivers. On the steering wheel, we have controls for audio, Bluetooth, nice clean instrument cluster. The center screen here is used for the vehicle computer, Also duals as a backup camera. We've got navigation, and then you can also control climate control, vehicle settings, audio functions through that screen, as well as phone connectivity. See that we've got CD player. Vehicle's got AM, FM radio, CD, satellite radio, and then you can connect through that Bluetooth or a hardwired connection that's located in the glove box. Then we've got the drive select feature here. It's got automatic on off, so when you're start stop, so if you're at a stoplight, the vehicle will turn off to conserve fuel. We've got the ability to turn off those parking sensors on the vehicle. It does have parking sensors on the front and the rear. This is for turning off traction control, and then that's hill descent control. Below that, we've got some more climate control settings. It's a dual zone for the driver and front passenger, and then we've also got heated seats for driver and front passenger. Right here we've got an ashtray and cigarette lighter, electronic emergency brake, push button start, so it's got a smart key. You can actually get into the vehicle just with the key in your pocket when you put your hand over the door handle. Likewise, you can lock it, and then you can start the vehicle as long as the key is inside. There's also the ability to insert the key into this little slot. This is all part of the Audi MMI system, which interfaces with this screen, and so you can control all those various vehicle settings through this system. So pretty easy to use once you get the hang of it. Got two cup holders, center console, and you'll see we've got some door storage. Up top we've got a self-dimming rear view mirror, compartment here for sunglasses. These are controls for the sunroof, so it's a tilt and sliding sunroof, and you'll notice that it's a full panoramic, although it only opens about halfway. And then we can program up to 3 garage door openers into the vehicle. Coming into the rear, you'll see that it's fairly spacious back here, although I've got to note that for us it's not working with 2 kids. So trying to get 2 car seats in is a real challenge. If you've got a rear-facing car seat, it will fit in the middle just fine because it can kind of squeeze between the seats, but it gets tight on the outside. So definitely a little tight in that sense. You see that we've got vents for the rear passengers and climate control functionality built in right there, as well as a 12-volt outlet. Quick view up front. In the middle row, got a built-in armrest with 2 cup holders. And then this center seat will fold down. Handy if you've got skis or another long object you want to insert through and still have the use of the outer 2 seats. In addition to folding down that middle row seat, you can also fold down the outer seats in a 60-40 split with the pull of this lever right here. Increases that cargo capacity if you're not using the back seat. And then we've got an electronic rear hatch. Kind of seems like a silly feature, but it actually is quite handy if you've got a lot of bags in your hand from the grocery store or something, you're coming up to the vehicle. It's really easy to get in using this feature. You also find that that smart key feature is very handy for locking and unlocking the vehicle when you're likewise got a lot of stuff in your hands, or if it's really cold out and you want to put your key in the pocket ahead of time. Now to fold down those seats, you can also pull this lever on the side here. Again, that 60-40 split. So we got one on this side and then another one over here for that passenger side. If we pull up this little compartment here, you'll see we've got some storage space built in underneath, and then this pulls up and there's a little more space down below. You also see that we've got our spare tire, which is not inflated, so it's got a pump to inflate that if needed. And we've also got our subwoofer for the vehicle integrated into that. The Q5 comes standard with Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive system, which makes it a very competent vehicle in snow and ice conditions. I already talked a little bit about the engine options in the Q5, but I wanted to give you a quick look inside of this specific vehicle, which again has that 3-liter supercharged V6. You'll see that it looks very similar to the engine that you'll see in the Audi S4, because it essentially is, just detuned slightly. The driving experience in the Q5 is also really good. It's definitely a true luxury vehicle, and it's got a very nice sporty feel to it. It's very quiet, it's very smooth, it's very comfortable. It handles really good. That's one of the great things about the Quattro all-wheel drive system, is that it's really handy if there's snow and ice or other inclement weather. It can really hug the road, and it's a great all-season vehicle. But even on dry pavement, going around corners, it just really hugs onto the pavement very nicely. And then also just a lot of fun to drive. It's a very quick vehicle, accelerating. It's got a lot of power when you're on the highway. If you need to pass other vehicles, you never have to worry about having enough power. And of course, having the 3-liter supercharged V6 in this specific vehicle makes it that much better than even the 2-liter turbo. If you're trying to debate between the different engine options on the Q5, you're really not going to go wrong with any of them. The 2-liter turbo is a very competent engine. It's got plenty of power, great fuel economy. It's the engine that definitely I would recommend to most buyers. The 3-liter supercharged V6 is also great. It really amplifies the driving experience. It's a lot of fun to drive, but it's probably going to be more power than what most people need. And so I wouldn't buy it unless you're really like a true motoring enthusiast and you want to be able to drive the vehicle very aggressively. The hybrid engine on the Q5 was not very popular because you didn't really see much of an improvement in fuel economy, and the price on that vehicle was quite a bit more than the other engine options. Now that it's a used vehicle on the market, because they don't really perform that well in terms of that overall fuel economy, the prices have definitely been deflated by that. And so you may be able to get a good deal on a hybrid model just because of some of that depreciation. So definitely worth considering in that sense. Although Audis aren't necessarily known for being very reliable, and having a whole hybrid system to contend with would make me a little bit nervous, especially since it hasn't really been used that much in Audi vehicles. And then they've also got that TDI diesel engine option. Unfortunately, they had the whole diesel scandal with Volkswagen and Audi where they were cheating on emissions, and so those vehicles had to be reworked with different software. I'm a little bit skeptical of the whole change that they made with that software upgrade. Remember that one of the reasons that they cheated to begin with is that to make the vehicles meet the emission requirements, they were concerned about reliability. And so now I'm worried that the changes that they made to upgrade them may affect that reliability. So I'd be a little bit leery, but at the same time, the TD engine is a really great engine. I had a Volkswagen Jetta that was a TDI. It was a lot of fun to drive, very powerful, a lot of torque, great fuel economy, obviously, and it was just a really great overall engine. So definitely is kind of a cool option that's available on the Q5, although because of that scandal, they discontinued the diesel, so those are going to be a little bit harder to find. So overall, this has been a really great vehicle that I've been very happy with. I've actually had 18 vehicles, and this Q5 is my favorite so far, so I've been really pleased with in that sense. I'd say that the one critique that I have for the vehicle, and really the only critique, and it's not reliability. You may be thinking that's what's coming. I'm a firm believer that Audis are actually quite reliable. I've had 5 Audis and I haven't had that many issues with them. The bigger issue is that they're very expensive to repair. So when something does go wrong, it can be very pricey. If you are willing to accept that possibility, then Audi's a really great option to go with. You know, you're paying more in terms of that maintenance and reliability long term, but you get a really great driving experience in exchange. And as I was mentioning, they're really high quality inside, and so I feel like they're vehicles that are worth maintaining. You may buy a cheap economy car that's Japanese, that's very reliable, but it's gonna get up to 200,000 miles and everything's gonna be falling apart inside. You buy a really high quality vehicle like this in terms of those materials inside, you know, you get up to 100, 200,000 miles, it's still gonna be like a new vehicle inside. And yes, you may have to pay more to maintain it, but if it's got a really nice new feel to it, that's really high quality, maybe that's worth it. So it's kind of up to you depending on what your priorities are and how much you want to spend on a car long term. But putting that all aside, the one thing I've been really disappointed about with this vehicle is the depreciation hit. We bought it secondhand when it was about 3 years old. We've owned it for an additional 3 years now and put about 35,000 miles on it. It had 59,000 when we bought it, and the vehicle's dropped in half its value. So definitely a significant hit in the time that we've owned it. That's the one thing I would really caution you about if you're looking to get into an Audi or another luxury vehicle, is that they don't tend to have very good resale value. So once they get up there in mileage, like ours right now, it's not going to drop that same amount in the next 3 years, because then it wouldn't be worth anything. So something to keep in mind. And again, if you wait a few years, let the vehicle get some mileage on it first, then you may be able to avoid that resale value hit. So to just kind of summarize overall on the Audi Q5, would I buy one again? Absolutely. It's been a great vehicle. Love it all around. It's very good looking. It's got a really high quality interior, a lot of nice features. Driving experience is phenomenal. The experience that I've had owning Audis is the reason that I keep going back to them. And while I don't know if my next vehicle is going to be an Audi or not, I can guarantee that I'll have another Audi again. They're really great vehicles all around and just a lot of fun to own. So if you have any comments or questions on the Q5, leave them in the section below. For more car videos, subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, thanks for watching.